Virgil Vasquez very anxious for his second major league start with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The first pitch was 1 minute early tonight, and Sam Fuld, the rookie center fielder, hits one down the right field line. He'll cruise into second base with a leadoff double. Take a look at Lou Pinella's lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fuld leading off. He's at second base already. Ryan Theriot, shortstop, 7 home runs this season, and the 4 seasons previous he's had 7. Derek Lee, Milton Bradley, Jake Fox, Kosuke Fukudome, Giovanni Soto, Blanco, and Wells.
Working against Virgil Vasquez, and you know, if the umpire's on his game, they make them wait and start at 7:05. Maybe if they made him wait and start on time, he wouldn't have given up that double. Come on, let's get it right.
It's a good call, Steve. So Vasquez the stretch in the pitch, and Theriot shows bunt. Takes high ball 1.
By the way, none of these Cubs have seen Virgil Vasquez. None of these Pirates have seen Randy Wells. None of them. That's kind of an unusual combination, that not one batter on either team has seen the opposing pitcher. It's the numbers for Vasquez, and operative numbers, not supposed to be a strikeout guy, but 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. Very impressive.
1-0 pitch. And Ramon Vasquez throws to first base with Sanchez covering. Sacrifice successful. Defensively for the Pirates, a different look tonight. Garrett Jones in left field, McCutcheon and Moss. Vasquez gives Andy LaRoche the night off. Wilson and Sanchez in the middle. Adam LaRoche at first, and Jason Jaramillo catching Virgil Vasquez. Garrett Jones in left field makes his first big league start with the Pirates.
He got a big glove, and he's a big man, 6'4", 245. He's built like the natural.
The stretch by Vasquez. 1 out, pitch to Lee. Swings, and this will get at least 1 in. And it gets 2 in. Solo home run. 2-0 Cubs. As Virgil Vasquez is on the wrong side of the score in the top of the first inning. First home run he's given up. And for Derek Lee, home run number 12. He's now got a 22-game hitting streak. Longest active streak in the majors.
A little rude awakening for Virgil Vasquez, who was so impressive against the Royals, but ringing double and then a long tater to right center field. Okay, let's see how he handles it as you take a look at one of the real good hitters in Major League Baseball, Derek Lee.
So behind the 8 ball quickly, 2-0 Cubs. And here is Milton Bradley, the switch hitter, right fielder, hitting .242.
Interesting start for the Cubs. They're playing for 1 run, then they get the long ball, bunting the guy over from second to third after a leadoff double.
Amazing.
Yeah, I got the feeling that they gave the Pirates an out.
His 20th round tripper against the Buccos. He's hit more home runs against the Pirates than anybody on that Cubs roster. 1-1 pitch. Misses.
You know,
how does that?
I'm kind of confused as why they had Theriot bunt. I can see it on a single. You know, leading off the ball game, you get a double, and
we look at the pitch that Lee got here, Steve, and talk about the location of this one.
Okay. Well, it's out over the plate where he can extend his arms. That if you're not committed to pulling the ball, you can hit that ball a long way. Hitters like to see that. It's out there. It doesn't tie him up. Gets a chance to extend the arms, and that's a good hitter's pitch. Jaramillo was set up out there, but if you throw that ball that height, you've got to get it further out, or else you've got to get it further down.
How does this affect mentally a young pitcher like Vasquez to have this happen at the top of the first?
It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for anybody, but you know, here he is trying to get out there and build on the good start he had last time. So, as I said, I think not so much how it affects him physically, certainly, but how he responds to it.
Let's check out Steve's tips to win, presented by Rivers Casino, opening August 9th.
Double down. That's a term that you hear related to a casino. You want them to double down, pick up that second win. double down, 2 good starts, and then win the control contest. There's the ball that misses, but both of these rookies, exceptionally good control, and that's kind of a rare thing. A lot of strikes thrown by Randy Wells. I know I'm going to say Vernon Wells, but Randy Wells, a lot of strikes, and a lot of strikes in the debut of Virgil Vasquez.
Throws one there, 1 ball and 1 strike to the third baseman, Jake Fox.
Well, the thing with the home run, it certainly gets your attention, but then, yeah, how do you respond? Gave up a home run? Okay, let's go back to work. That's what you're hoping for.
Just low, 2-1. Vasquez out of UC Santa Barbara, pitched 3 years there. As the 8th highest strikeout total in school history with 189 over 3 seasons. 2-2 to Fox. Spent all of last year with Toledo in AAA, and in his career has made 5 appearances with the Detroit Tigers 2 seasons ago in 07. Had a very interesting offseason too, where he didn't even move, but he was with 3 different teams. Swing and a miss. He gets Fox. Derek Lee hits the home run, and the Cubs lead it 2-0.
Our next trip at Southwest.com. By Miller High Life. Good, honest beer at a tasty price. By your Western PA Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
Andrew McCutchen leads off the bottom of the first inning, 2-0 Cubs. A leadoff double by Sam Fuld, the center fielder, then a 2-run home run by Derek Lee, the difference. And there is one down the line by Andrew McCutchen. And it's like someone just shot off the starter's pistol. There he goes. Into second easily.
And you're given evidence right away that this is a very kind of sticky, wet surface they're playing on. Adam LaRoche stumbled when a ground ball was hit to him. That time the left fielder, Fuld, came over, and he had trouble with his footing. And see, this ball, it's like on Velcro, as the waterlogged surface just holds it up. So here we go. Dig your heels in.
Now the fastest man in the yard is in scoring position with his 5th double of the year. 5 doubles, 5 triples for Andrew McCutchen, who certainly will get consideration for National League Rookie of the Month. There's Sanchez banging that one around.
Yeah, you think Freddie can't turn on the ball and pull it?
Delwyn Young tried to duck out of the way. Maybe he was just getting in the way to screen Virgil Vasquez, the starting pitcher.
You'd like to think that was the intent, but probably not.
0-1 pitch, and Sanchez bunts it foul, and he is behind in the count 0-2.
I don't know this stuff with the after leadoff doubles against young pitchers. And the only reason I mention that, sometimes you can get on a roll and you can score a bunch of runs. I don't know if you always want to give up and out. Well, I don't manage, I guess.
Sanchez, a big night last night, 3 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Randy Wells, the 0-2, and this one's right back at him. And there is 1 out. John Russell's Buccos starting lineup brought to you by PNC. Third hitter Garrett Jones will make his Pirates debut in just a moment at the plate. Adam LaRoche, Brandon Moss, Ramon Vasquez, Jason Jaramillo, Jack Wilson, and Virgil Vasquez batting ninth and doing the pitching. See him right there in the foreground. Now Garrett Jones, who we heard a lot about him in spring training. We saw a lot of good things from this young man off his bat and in the field. Here he is. Wells delivers strike 1 call.
We got a couple big men going at it here. Garrett Jones 6'4", 245, as we said, and Randy Wells 6'3", 230. They start mixing it up. Get out of their way.
And Jones takes outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 12 home runs and 48 runs batted in 72 games with AAA Indy. You saw his spring training numbers just a moment ago. Stretch by Wells and the 1-1. And this one slowly tapped to the right side. We'll get McCutchen over. Tough play at first. And they just get Garrett Jones. He runs well for a big guy.
Did I see somewhere he had 14 steals at Indianapolis? Or is that just something I dreamt about?
Well, you're going to make me dig.
Well, just say yes. Just say yes. Go run with it. And they just get him out. Good hustle, but good job by Blanco to come all the way in, playing deep. Takes the big man a while to get going, but good speed once he gets the motor revved up. And Blanco had to make everything work to get him out at first base, and did, as Andrew moves over to third base.
Here's LaRoche. Chance to cut the lead in half. Takes inside.
By the way, Garrett Jones, a native of Illinois, where the Cubs reside, and Randy Wells from Belleville, Illinois, 26-year-old right-hander.
Two balls, no strikes.
Interesting early career for Randy Wells. The Cubs signed him, and then Toronto took him in the Rule 5 draft and didn't like what they had, so sent him back to the Chicago Cubs.
He's got an interesting stat about the way that he has been pitching. That is outside ball 3. One of the unofficial historians of the Chicago Cubs came up with this one, that Wells is the only other pitcher on record to toss 18 1/3 scoreless innings to start his Cubs career since Albert Spalding did it in 1876.
Is that who they named the baseball after?
Well, perhaps. Free pass for Adam LaRoche. 2 on and 2 out for Brandon Moss. LaRoche, the 2-out walk. McCutchen down at third base. And that number right in the middle, the number 1, is the one that Brandon Moss has been hoping to change to number 2 for a bunch of weeks now. Waiting for the right pitch.
You know, that might be interesting for the Cubs and impressive, but also we had a guy who matched that last year, Jeff Karstens, with his Pirate start, his start against the Cubs, and then that gem against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So quite an impressive start for Jeff Karstens when he joined the Pirates last year.
1-0 pitch. 1-1. Well, Moss in his last 9 games, as we see Lou Piniella, his 22nd season as a big league manager. He's had a lot of stops.
He's had a lot of success too.
He went around 1-2. I was going to say about his last 9 games for Moss, hitting .400 over his last 9 games. He started to pick it up a little bit, and last night,
couple base hits to the left.
2 hits, yeah.
Not committed and tempted to just try to pull all the time. A couple of knocks to left.
And this one to center. And that will get a run in. And the Buccos have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. An RBI single for Brandon Moss, his 20th run batted in of the year, as McCutchen scores.
Nice not to waste that leadoff double. The Pirates cash it in. Nice way to answer the Cubs' quick 2 spot in the top of the inning. Brandon Moss stays hot, and again, not trying to pull, not committed to pull. Those home runs will come when he does pull. But, good solid base hit, and the Pirates get on the board.
Moss at first. Adam LaRoche at second base. He represents the tying run. And Ramon Vasquez playing third base tonight. Hasn't had a start in a while. And the pitch. That is inside. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Runners lead from first and second, and Vasquez pops this one foul. Ball and a strike to Ramon. Now, typically in the Pirate lineup, we see 2 LaRoches. This is the first time we've seen 2 Vasquez. Ramon and Virgil. Not related. Randy Wells ready on the hill. And the 1-1. And Vasquez rips this one down the right field line. It's going to hook foul.
The Pirates action here in the top of the first against Randy Wells. This young man, 9 starts. You take a look at the game by game on the Cubs notes. 2 games and 2 runs allowed in each of the last 2 starts, and 4 the time before that, and then 2-1, 2-3, 0-0. I mean, he's been very consistent, and could have some more wins with some more run support. Just 2 and 3, but he's won his last 2.
In the dirt, 2-2. Good block by Giovanni Soto, the catcher, to prevent the runners from moving up. So McCutchen had the leadoff double this inning, and Sanchez and Jones went out. Jones was able to move McCutchen over to third base. LaRoche walked, and with runners at first and third, Brandon Moss had an RBI single, and Ramon Vasquez strikes out, leaving 2 on board, but a run comes in, and Andrew McCutchen leads off with a double. Cubs, top of the second inning. Time to enjoy tonight's Cabot Woodstein legendary performance on this date 58 years ago tonight. The Indians' Bob Feller becomes the 3rd pitcher in Major League history to pitch 3 career no-hitters, defeating the Tigers 2-1. Detroit scored on an error, stolen base, an errant pickoff throw, and a sacrifice fly, but Rapid Robert got it done 58 years ago tonight. And Virgil Vasquez deals one just outside to Kosuke Fukudome. the center fielder for the Cubs. He'll be followed by Giovanni Soto and Andres Blanco. And this one sharply hit to Sanchez, knocks it down. He's got Fukudome one away.
Ball blistered to Freddie, able to handle it. I'm talking about Bob Feller. Aside from the no hitters, check the number of 1 hitters and 2 hitters in his career. It's impressive numbers.
He came up at the age of 19, didn't he?
Yep. Van Meter, Iowa.
Missed some time due to
if you want, yeah.
Military
Freddie
service.
Doing a nice job there. Bob Feller, and he'll tell you about each one of those starts too.
Yeah. So Virgil Vasquez facing Giovanni Soto, the catcher, right-handed, takes a strike. We're going back to that play that Freddie Sanchez just made. I think that is one of the fundamental plays in baseball. If a ball's hit right at you, you got to knock it down somehow, and at least make contact with the ball to make it playable. And Freddie, I think fundamentally, has been doing a great job showing how middle infield is supposed to be played.
Took that ball off to the side, really didn't have time to get in front of it too much. And by the way, if you get in front of a shot like that and you don't get the glove on it, it's going to take about 3 of your ribs out.
So that's why he played it off to the side.
Finding a way to get it done.
1-2 to Soto.
You talk about getting in front of the ball. Al Rosen, speaking of the Indians, played third base. Al flipped Rosen. One of the reasons they call him flip because his nose looked like it had flipped. He'd broken it, I think, 8 or 9 times playing third base.
Looked like an old hockey player. 2-2. Chopper down to short. Jack Wilson. 2 down. Wilson makes it look easy. And here is Andres Blanco, second baseman. Blanco hitting .240.
You know, Tim, you asked me about how a guy like Virgil Vasquez handles that quick 2-spot with that home run. So far, I think he's handled it quite well. It's not how much he feels about it, not so much that, it's what he does about it. And so far, so good. Retired 4 right after the long ball, 4 in a row.
And he gets strike 1 to Blanco. Blanco's hit safely in 8 of his last 10 games. Played in 24 games now. He started 19 of them at second, and a couple of them at short too. Came up from AAA Iowa on the 27th of May. 0-1 pitch, and this one to left, and Garrett Jones watches it curl right into his glove. 1-2-3 for Virgil Vasquez. He retires 5 straight since giving up the home run to Derek Lee. It's 2-1 game. Time to open up tonight's Geico quote book, and it comes from the father of Lastings Millage, who has yet to see any time with the Pirates since the trade yesterday. He says, quote, Lastings is thrilled to death, I can tell you that. I'm telling you this is a good kid, and I'm not just saying that because I'm his dad. Tell people in Pittsburgh Please give this kid a chance. He'll give you the shirt off his back, Pittsburgh. From the dad, Tony Milich. And Lastings is going to work out a couple of days in Bradenton, which is right across the river from where he grew up in Palmetto.
Yep, Pirates trade Nigel Morgan for Lasting Milich. It's a Bradenton native.
Jaramillo rips it foul. So again, this was the deal. Nigel Morgan and Sean Burnett to Washington for Joel Hanrahan and Lastings Milich. Milich has a broken finger he's been rehabbing from, and once he finishes up a couple of days in Bradenton, they will send him to AAA Indianapolis, and by all accounts we may see him with the Pirates as soon as the All-Star break is over, and at that time we also might see Ryan Doman as soon as the All-Star break is over. So
and Hanrahan is here in the building tonight.
Just got here today. Salazar just got here today. Garrett Jones, there's Jeff Salazar. He's been with the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. Had a bunch of time with the Diamondbacks. Jaramillo, base hit left field.
Nice at bat. Behind him, count 1-2. Sends it the opposite way.
In fact, I believe Sean Burnett pitched today.
I know he gave up a home run.
Gave up a home run for Washington in the game that Florida won 5-3. But good job going the other way by Jaramillo. Hit the ball where it was pitched in the outer part of the plate. So leadoff man is aboard for Jack Wilson. Virgil Vasquez swinging a bat out on deck, and Wilson, 288 hitter.
Interesting, both Jaramillo and Diaz hitting 265. Talk about Ryan Doman coming back. There's probably going to be a disappointed catcher because they really, as a tandem, have done a very nice job. They really have.
Doman also a switch hitter. So then becomes the question of which one stays here, which one goes out. Is it Diaz? Is it Jaramillo? And Jason trying to play his way to stay. Same with Robinson Diaz, who was in the lineup last night. 1-0 pitch coming to Wilson. And this one down to third, and that is a foul ball.
Interesting. I don't know how many clubs in the history of Major League Baseball have had two switch hitting catchers on the roster.
There's Diaz. He's a right-handed hitter there.
Jaramillo switch. Ryan Doman switch.
Marty Foster calling the balls and strikes tonight. Over at first base is Chad Fairchild. Crew chief John Hirschbeck. Second base, and Wally Bell back at third. 1-1 to the Pirate shortstop Jack Wilson. 2-1 Cubs lead it. Jaramillo leadoff single. 1-1 pitch down to second base. Blanco to Terrio to Lee. Double play.
Close. But they turn it.
Base is empty for Virgil Vasquez, and how one pitch can change the fortunes of what was promising to be a decent inning. So Jaramillo trying to slide to the outside to take out Terrio, but Terrio had already released the baseball. And there's the newest Pirate pitcher, Joel Hanrahan. He was closing for the Nationals, but you know the problem with closing for the Nationals is you don't get a lot of opportunities. Vasquez fouls it back. He is 0 for 2 career at the plate at his first plate appearances against the Royals. So Hanrahan, new uniform, new bag of seeds. He's ready to go. And Vasquez down to second. Blanco eats it up, and that's the inning. We're through 2. Cubs 2, Pirates 1.
And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
Let's check out our Day Automotive this day in Pirates baseball history. July 1st, 1916. At age 42 years, 4 months, Honus Wagner became the oldest player ever to hit an inside-the-park home run and a 2-1 win at Cincinnati. 42 years, 4 months, a 4-bagger. 2-1 Cubs, and the first pitch is knocked down the left field line foul.
Yep, Honus in the ballpark, or just outside the ballpark. Used to be outside the left field wall at Forbes. Celebrated the 100th anniversary of the opening of Forbes last night. Honus stood guard out there for a lot of years.
Randy Wells leading off, a 200 hitter. No homers and 1 run batted in for the Cubs. Not afraid to swing it. Strike 2. Three out of 15 at the plate. And Wells awaits the 0-2 pitch from Vasquez. Will it be playable? LaRoche gives it a run.
Nope. Well, we have a minute. Tim, just want to pass along anniversary congratulations to William and Betty Cogley of Beaver Falls. Their 60th recently celebrated.
Wow.
Great Pirate fans, and I want to send along our best to them.
That is great.
William and Betty.
Strike 3. Vasquez strikes out Randy Wells. Tomorrow the Pirates will battle the Mets. It's a 12:35 matinee game, business person special. Plus it's Alumni Autograph Day, where you can meet former Pirates before the game in the Trip Total Media Hall of Fame Club. For tickets and to see the full alumni autograph schedule, visit pirates.com. John Wehner is rumored to be one of them.
Well, if he's not in the all-you-can-eat section, that's where he'll be. He'll be out there signing autographs.
I know he's one of them. He's looking forward to it. Sam Fold out of Durham, New Hampshire.
Oh, you had to bring that up. New Hampshire native.
Yeah, visited with him last night after the game. Nice young kid. Getting an opportunity now in the big leagues with the Cubs.
Mr. Neverett, New Hampshire. It's native.
1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt.
You wound up playing a lot of ball in the Boston area, didn't you?
Did. Right in town. In fact, the field that I played at in college was named Roberto Clemente Field, ironically enough. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is low. 3-2.
Just had a shot of the Hall of Fame club. Big doings there last night.
Yeah, the
great
FSN auction was big.
Great results in a fast-paced game. Some fast-paced bidding.
Fights this one to left field. Garrett Jones retires him. And there are 2 down. Well, Pirates Charity certainly benefited from the auction last night, and all the people that took time to call in and donate, and the people that volunteered, and players' wives, and the executives, and the folks from the front office who were there, and everybody else that helped out. $75,000. 18 different states chipped in money, and the proceeds used to benefit all the charities that help local youths. And Pirates Charity is one of the great organizations. Owner Bob Nutting, it's very important to him, and Patty Paytas, who heads it up, does a spectacular job.
Terrific commitment.
2 balls, no strikes to Ryan Terrio, the shortstop. And this one to right center. It's going to get down for a base hit. 2-out single for Ryan Terrio, and that ends a string of 7 straight sat down by Virgil Vasquez.
First baseman Derek Lee.
Right in back of the Pirate pitcher, and that ball outside, and there's a good piece of hitting going the opposite way. You try to pull that ball, you're going to hit a lot of ground balls to short. So we have seen some good opposite field hitting early in this ball game, including the ball that Derek Lee hit to the opposite field a long way.
And And Lee takes inside ball one. That's a great camera look from dead center.
Yes, yeah.
Oftentimes you see it. It's a little bit off center, but
yeah, because it's on the shortstop side. So if you visualize moving that over, a lot of those pitches that are on the outside corner to right-hand batter, they're really off the plate. So this is a real honest look of left and right, not so much up and down, but left and right. And a nice little sequence for Virgil coming off that home run that he served up to Derek Lee. Breaking ball inside, kind of a nothing, kind of an inside curveball that gets maybe Derek Lee off the plate a little bit and then goes back out away to even the count. 1-1. Yeah, this is a terrific look. You get your inside outside looks. And if we can go back to that, can we just take another look at that? Yeah, right there. Because now you get a real look at the outside corner and the inside corner. And sometimes you'll see those guys with their elbows. Well, look at Jaramillo run inside. Nice job. Oh, is that pretty? He wanted it inside, and they just gobbled him up. Ate his lunch, peanut butter and jam.
Good work so far by Virgil Vasquez. A 2-1 ball game. McCutchen behind 0-1. He doubled and scored in the first inning. One with Steve Blass, Tim Neverett here at PNC Park, bottom of the third.
Looking slider from Randy Wells. Another one.
Down to Terrio. And there's one away.
Now there's a classic example. Run again. He threw him a good slider that he missed. Then he threw him another slider, and Andrew wound up trying to pull the ball. It was out away from him and hits that routine ground ball to shortstop. That's a classic example of trying to pull that outside pitch. You like to have your hitters kind of go with that ball, but when you try to pull it, you're going to get a lot of this. Dead center. Great shot here. It's hard to really turn that ball back around and hit it with authority. I mean, it can be done, and it's done on occasion, but you'll see a few balls to shortstop.
Sanchez takes 1 ball and 1 strike. Freddie bounced one back to Randy Wells in the first inning. He's 0 for 1, and now this one to the left side. Jake Fox grabs it, throws him out. 2 down quickly. Well, Sunday, catch another edition of Inside Pirates Baseball. Get the inside pitch on your favorite Buccos on and off the field. Inside Pirates Baseball, driven by your Western Pennsylvania Chevy dealers and Geico. Airs Sunday at noon here on FSN. It's a great show. Look forward to seeing that each week. Even though we're on the ball club, they get so inside. We even learn stuff.
Yeah, really.
The ball club every
absolutely.
week.
Absolutely.
Second time around for Garrett Jones. He grounded out to Andres Blanco at second base. 0 for 1. Takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Played for Rochester in the International League last year. Had 23 home runs. Breaks his bat, rolls it down to Fox. And that's quick work for Randy Wells. 1, 2, 3 they go as he rolls 3 ground ball outs.
Go to Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Buy McDonald's new McCafe coffees, creamy lattes, rich mochas, and frothy cappuccinos. Only at McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Back at PNC Park. Top of the 4th inning. 2-1 Cubs. Virgil Vasquez pitching to Milton Bradley. He delivers high. Vasquez works quickly. That's something that Jack Wilson noticed and commented on after the game against Kansas City when Vasquez made his debut. He said, man, that guy works fast.
Well, I guess everybody got the memo of picking up the pace in these last few ball games here. We had a 215, a 218.
1 ball and 1 strike to Bradley. He's 0 for 1. He bounced out to Adam LaRoche at first base. 2-1 now to Bradley.
Well, I'm sure our man downstairs, Pete Tome, is familiar with quick working pitchers. Greg Maddux used to be out of the dugout when his guy hit a fly ball to left field to end an inning. Greg was halfway across the foul line.
Carlos Zambrano works quickly too. He just wants to get in the dugout so he can hit.
Yeah, the Gatorade can.
I think they took that out of the third base dugout at Wrigley Field. It took too much damage. And a leadoff walk. Those can cause damage. As Bradley trots down to first base. First free pass issued by Virgil Vasquez tonight. Jake Fox, the hitter. Fox struck out his first time up. He ended the first inning. How about this for Jake Fox? In 2 straight games, Thursday in Detroit and Friday against the White Sox, he fell a triple shy of the cycle in both of those games. Both games, yeah. He had the home run, the double, and the single in 2 straight games. Got his first career home run on Thursday in Detroit. 3-run blast off Armando Galarraga. And then the next day came up and got a 2-run shot against the White Sox off Jose Contreras. One of the Cubs' prized prospects here now making it to the big leagues. Jake Fox. Made his debut at third base on the 19th of June against Cleveland. Throw to first, and Bradley is back. Milton Bradley made a lot of news recently in Chicago and elsewhere.
He always makes news.
1-1. It's inside, and it's unfortunate for him that it seems like it's an annual thing, and that's just too bad. You know, maybe from his perspective, he's misunderstood.
Aren't we all? I mean, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, one way or another. 2-1. You were never misunderstood?
No, they got me down cold.
I doubt it. Three ball and 1 strike pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, well, Milton can't help himself by not responding to the fan. He takes the bait all the time. Yep. You want to holler at me? Here. Okay. Yep. So that's
a Monday night. Yep. And you know,
and that all it does is keep it going. It keeps the pot stirred.
There goes Bradley. Pitch is swung on, fouled straight back. He'll have to go back to first base. You know, there's things called rabbit ears in baseball. I know you're very familiar with it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you heard a lot of chirping yourself when you were playing. But, you know, and you know, there are times when you just have to find a way to, you know, mentally plug your ears and not listen to it and not pay attention to it.
Well, a lot of times, too, you hear it sometimes, but a lot of that should be blocked out by your training and your development, where you don't hear a lot of that. It's impossible to block it all out, but you want the tunnel vision.
Bradley goes again, and this one is popped up to the infield. Jack Wilson calling for it. He's got it for the first out. Time for tonight's Aflac trivia question. What an interesting question for you tonight. Who was the only Major League Baseball third baseman ever to post 8 straight 90 RBI seasons? The only Major League third baseman ever to post 8 straight 90 RBI seasons.
I'm going to write down my guess.
Okay, I'll give you one hint. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Kosuke Fukudome at the plate with 1 out and at first, and Vasquez fires over there.
You just ruined my day.
You had somebody else, didn't you?
I did. That was Mr. Schmidt.
Oh.
I know that's wrong.
Now you know. But a good guess.
Well, he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame. That's the criteria.
I've got my answer written down.
Okay. Did you change your answer, or are you going with Mike Schmidt?
I've changed it once. There's still time. See, I don't have a computer like you guys have. See, so my guesses are pure.
Pure, huh? Fukudome to right field. And that's going to get over the head of Moss into the wall. Bradley coming around third. He'll be held there by Mike Quade, and a double for Kosuke Fukudome. 1 out, second and third for Chicago.
Fukudome, he's got that sweep swing and just hooks it. All Brandon Moss can do is chase it down. And now the challenge for Virgil Vasquez to keep the Cubbies at 2 runs, and a big challenge it is, and Jaramillo wants to come out and talk to him about that very subject.
Fukudome and those two there, Alan Trammell on the left and Lou Piniella on the right. They're happy to have Fukudome. He doesn't play every single night, but he was an absolute star in Japan with the Chunichi Dragons. Played his whole career with Chunichi. And last year made the jump from Japan to the Chicago Cubs and was an instant hit on the north side. After the All-Star break, he found out that life on the other side is not always that easy. Numbers fell pretty substantially, but now he's kind of figuring it out again. Here's Soto. 2 on, 1 out. And Virgil Vasquez, a 1-ball, no strike count. 1-1, takes the curveball.
Back-to-back curveballs. It's not a bad sequence every once in a while, not all the time, but through the off-speed pitch, hitters love to look for the fastball on the next pitch. They think it's automatically going to happen.
Giovanni Soto, Rookie of the Year in 2008. A year ago today, his numbers were much greater. Almost double the number of RBIs a year ago at this time.
And home runs.
Vasquez trying to paint the inside corner, just going too far inside. 3-1.
Yeah, not a complete loss. If he loses him, it sets up the double play. And when you throw a lot of strikes, he's walked one batter. He walked two his first start, which is, I thought, good work in 6 innings.
3-1, a roller down to third base. Vasquez comes home and Jaramillo tags him out. Ramon Vasquez makes a nice play to cut down Bradley at the plate and keep the score right where it is.
Made a nice play after a bad decision by Milton Bradley. I thought maybe he's going on contact, but well, it really cleans things up and allows the Pirates to have the opportunity to keep them off the board.
And John Russell is coming out to talk to the entire infield. See the play there, and John Russell came out of the dugout pretty quickly and jogged out to the mound, and now he has everybody here. What's he talking about, you think?
Well, they're talking about what they're going to do with Blanco. Do we want to work to him? Do we want to pitch to the pitcher? Even though this would load the bases, what do we really want to do? Maybe just a little strategy thing with an emphasis, a reminder about the scouting report.
Well, John doesn't come out there very often for that reason, but he did tonight. Andres Blanco flied out to left field in the second inning is 0 for 1. First and second, 2 men are out. Top of the fourth inning. Cubs a 2-1 lead, and Blanco at the plate. Okudome at second and Soto at first, and the pitch, and Blanco takes outside.
And what you do is you take a look at that situation where they have runners on second and third with 1 out. So you stay there. The out is recorded at first base. You've got runners on second and third with 2 outs instead of runners on first and second with 2 outs. So that's why I question his going on that play.
And a ground ball to Adam LaRoche takes care of business. And Virgil Vasquez gets out of it unscathed.
FS in Pittsburgh is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing.
Well, we gave you our Aflac trivia question at the top of the inning. The question was, who is the only Major League Baseball third baseman ever to post 8 straight 90-run batted-in seasons? there he is, Ron Santo. And it is an outrage, especially when you ask anybody who supports the Cubs. It's an outrage that he's not in the Hall of Fame. Ron Santo doing the radio with Pat Hughes on the Cubs broadcast crew.
Great career.
He's been battling. He's had a long battle with diabetes.
I helped some of those years for Ron.
Yeah.
Did my best.
How many RBIs did you give him?
A lot.
So he couldn't have done it without you. That's what you're saying?
Right. I'm happy to be a part of that legacy. Good player. Part of that group that Leo DeRocher played every inning of every game in 1969 when the Mets caught him. And those guys, they got tired. Month of September. Leo ran them out there every inning of every day.
9-time All-Star, 5 times a Gold Glover.
When they come back, I'm going to bring a picture of Ron. He looked like one of those dogs, white dogs that had the black spot eye. He got hit by a pitch. We took a pitch together. I don't know whether it was I hit him or it might have been a situation where he had a hitting streak going. I think it was a hitting streak that stopped when we played him. And we took a picture together. He had that big black eye.
Andres Blanco throws out Adam LaRoche. 1 away in the Pirates' half of the 4th inning. Here's Brandon Moss. Moss drove in the Pirates' only run. RBI single in the first. Moss starting to come around. I was out here early the other day, Steve, and was watching Brandon Moss and Steven Jackson with their compound bows shoot at a styrofoam target. They're getting ready for archery. The archery season. Deer season's not that far away.
I'll tell you, if they miss in this ballpark, they can pick somebody off at the Renaissance Hotel. Those things are that powerful. That's across the bridge.
And Moss lines this one to center field, but waiting for it, Fukudome. 2 down.
But again, Brandon Moss hitting the ball right on the button. A completely batted bat. Get the results he wanted. Hit the ball hard. There's the Renaissance. Yeah, you don't see any bow arrows stuck in any of those windows or anything.
Not right there, but I think as our cameras go a little closer, we'll
oh yeah, let's zoom in on some of those hotel rooms.
A stray arrow
or open windows.
Ramon Vasquez, strikeout victim in the 1st inning. Takes the ball 1-0. Vasquez last year with the Texas Rangers. Came up with Seattle originally. On the outside corner, strike 1. Wells working quickly, and Vasquez to left field. Fuld comes on and makes a great catch. Nice catch by the rookie Sam Fuld, and that retires Vasquez, and the Pirates will head to the 5th. Cubs 2, Bucks 1. In the minor leagues, Rudy Owens this season with the power of West Virginia, 9-1, 1.9 earned run average. He hasn't allowed an earned run over his last 4 starts.
I don't care where you're playing. That's pretty impressive.
That's awesome. Yep. And that is our Beaver County Automotive Farm Report. Tony Sanchez, the #1 draft choice, had the game off today for the Power. Keeping an eye on him and keeping an eye on a number of the prospects on their way up. Randy Wells, the pitcher, hits this one on the ground at Jack Wilson. 1 out of the Cubs' 5th. Every Sunday Pirates home game is a Giant Eagle Advantage Card Day where the Bucks offer you 2 ways to save. Purchase on the day of the game and you'll save $5 off select reserved seats. Purchase in advance and double that savings to $10 off. To purchase tickets, visit the PNC Park ticket windows or go online at pirates.com/AdvantageCard. Take advantage. Sam Fuld, 1 for 2. Shows bunt. Takes ball 1. Fuld doubled and scored in the first inning. Caught up with him after the game last night. Didn't play in the game, but he thought he might be in the lineup. He was told he'd be in the lineup tonight. And the Cubs giving him an opportunity. A few guys up here from AAA Iowa. He is one. Blanco at second base another. Jeff Samardzija, the pitcher, former receiver at Notre Dame, was called up and came in yesterday to pitch to back up Ted Lilly in the Pirates' 3-0 victory over the Cubs. 2-1. That's high. 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike. Vasquez, the pitch. And he walked him. 1-out walk. And Fuld can run a little bit.
Yep. Play it again, Sam.
And throwing some weather around in left field. Vasquez trying to go the other way. And Fuld with a nice sliding catch.
A lot of these guys have that hinged type of glove. The ball goes in and the doors close on each side.
Once it goes in, they don't want it coming back out.
We used to say, well, it took 2 cows to die for that glove.
You used to say a lot of things, didn't you?
Yeah. Over and over and over again.
That went too far inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, we welcomed the Nevert family into Pittsburgh today, did we not?
Yes, we did.
Yep.
Just got in this afternoon. Everybody's here.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Everybody's here.
Well,
it only took them 6 months. Even the dogs made it.
And the cat?
Cat too, yeah. Cat's still alive, yeah. Terrio, a 1 ball, no strike count. There goes Fuld. Good jump. Pitch fouled back. Boy, if there was one Terrio wanted to let go, it might have been that one.
Yes.
Fuld had a huge jump on
Ron.
Vasquez. Look at him go.
He's going to be in your picture in a moment. There he is.
And it might have been the hit and run. He was taking a quick look. Straight steal. You'll often see the runner just keep the head down and go forward. Fuld to lead again. Held on by LaRoche. Vasquez sneaking in at third. And Virgil delivers. Fastball inside. Fuld holds. 2-1. Cubs got 2 in the first inning when Fuld doubled, and then Derek Lee with 1 out hit a home run to dead center field. Pirates got a run back in the bottom of the inning when McCutchen doubled, and he was driven in by a Brandon Moss single. The ball gets away, and Fuld will get to second anyway. So
yeah, tough program for Adam LaRoche because he's got the runner coming in. It's hard to get over, reach over him and get the ball. E1.
So with one out, another runner in scoring position. Forced plays taken off. Terrio, 2-1 count. One for one with a sacrifice, and he goes to right field, but it'll be way in the seats foul. Less than 2 outs. He's just trying to put that ball on the right side somewhere. If it goes through, it's a bonus. Move that runner up 90 feet.
Yeah, they'll do more of that when there's nobody out, but still in this kind of ball game, tight ball game, everybody's scratching for runs not only tonight but in the entire series.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Terrio, LSU Bengal Tiger, facing the Santa Barbara Gaucho, Virgil Vasquez. This one a line drive, and Jack Wilson ain't going to get it.
It's a little flare, just high enough to get over Jack's head.
And full down to third. I think Jack gave it a good look to try to freeze the runner.
But this bit of hitting here, you talk about extension and just getting enough to pop it over the infield. A pitcher's pitch, and he gets the base hit. Now Derek Lee, he's had 2 interesting at bats. Hit a home run, an impressive home run, well over the wall in right center field, and then really got sawed off last time up against Virgil Vasquez.
Vasquez wants a ground ball somewhere. 1 ball and no strikes to Derek Lee. 22-game hitting streak after that home run in the first inning.
He's only grounded into 2 double plays.
Maybe 3. There's 1. There's 2.
Yep.
Double play. And Vasquez escapes again. 2-1 Cubs. Who doesn't like it? AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Bottom of the 5th inning, Jason Jaramillo, strike 1. He had a base hit his last time up. 1 for 1 tonight. 2-1 ball game in favor of the Cubs. Jaramillo trying to get aboard again against the right-hander Randy Wells, and he does. Lining one to left center field. Fuld will cut it off, and he'll hold Jaramillo to a single. So 2 times to the plate tonight for Jason Jaramillo, and 2 times a leadoff base hit, and the tying run is now aboard. Sees the ball on the outside part of the plate, goes that way, and he just barrels the ball. Good look from the Southwest field cam. And so Jason Jaramillo is aboard, and the batter now Jack Wilson. And Wilson takes inside, ball 1. Grounded into a double play. Started by Andres Blanco at second base in the first inning. Wilson has hit safely in 12 of his last 14 games, and he hits this one down to third, backhanded by Fox. He'll go to second for one, back to first, not in time. Jake Fox made a terrific play over the third base bag, but when a ball is hit there and at that speed, chances are you're only going to get one anyway.
Nice play. It's not a play that you practice a lot, taking on the backhand side and that long, strong throw accurately to second base to try to set up at least the remote possibility of the double play. They did a nice job getting the out that was available.
Vasquez will square, and now he pulls the bat back, takes a strike. You had a visitor.
Yes, Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack in town. He was with Vice President Biden in a function in Erie. He's a native of the city of Pittsburgh. Grew up in the city.
Vasquez wants a foul, 0-2 the count.
And you talk about a knowledgeable Pirate fan. We talked a little bit about his attendance. At least one game of each of the most recent 3 World Series, 60, 71, and 79. And he pulled my chain a little bit. He said, "What does that 50 sign mean? 50 wins?" And I, of course, being naive, I said, "Well, I don't know." I'm stumbling around.
Vasquez bunts it foul, and he strikes out.
So, Jaramillo, how'd he get on base? Tell me.
Base hit.
Oh, great. Okay.
Catch you up. You
Yeah,
ready?
Wait, please. Base hit to left.
Center.
Okay, thank you. And then the force out, and then the strikeout. I got it.
There you go. Let's take a look at the Barrel Automotive League leaders stat. Highest average versus right-handed pitchers. Pittsburgh leading the National League at 269, ahead of St. Louis. And St. Louis has a pretty good hitter. Albert Pujols.
He's obscene right now with what he's doing with the bat. Albert Pujols is just killing it. He's just killing Major League pitching. He's killing it.
Clark Kent by day, Superman by night. 2 outs, and McCutchen takes strike 1.
And if you're thinking along the lines of trying to hit the ball over the fence and get something dramatic in sudden fashion, Wells in his first 9 starts only 4 home runs, so he's done a good job keeping the ball in the yard. Consider that he does a good bit of work in Wrigley Field.
0-2.
He's not overpowering. He's got a decent enough fastball right around 90, but I've been impressed with his slider. He's got a nice cut fastball, which is the old pure slider.
Well, Andrew McCutchen led the Pirates in runs batted in June with 18, tied for the most among National League rookies with Milwaukee's Casey McGee in that category. He's made quite an impression. 439 average with runners on. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Andrew McCutchen. He's 1 for 2, double and a run scored in the first inning. I'm
trying to figure out why Toronto didn't want Randy Wells. They got him in that question. Rule 5. And he's pretty impressive. He's only got 2 wins, but an ERA of 2.5, and he hasn't hurt that ERA so far tonight.
He is an Illinois native, born in Belleville, lives in Lebanon. He's 26 years of age, pretty lively arm.
Yep. 2002 draft, 38th round. He was around for a while. But, he's working a lot on the outside part of the plate, on the outside corner, and a little bit off that outside corner, and he has been effective. Just a couple of strikeouts, but he has shown that he has a little sense about how to pitch.
1-2 to McCutchen.
Direct look, and it's any pitcher who is in the business we're in loves that that look right over the pitcher, straight on in. It gives you a good look at what the pitch is trying to do. Not so much up and down, but side to side. Pick up a little up and down business with it, but really, there he is trying to tease Andrew on that outside slider that is well off the plate.
Well, he got him to pull that outside pitch last time and ground out to short. Probably has ideas of trying to induce the same thing again. Get a look at Soto and what he's got planned.
3 is the slider, usually.
And trying to get him to chase 3-2. So Jack Wilson will be off to the races with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Wilson on the move. He represents the tying run in a 2-1 game. Bottom of inning number 5 at PNC Park.
Think along with Soto here. Change up, fastball, then slider.
There goes Wilson. This one driven to left, base hit.
Went with the slider again, and this time Andrew McCutchen was able to turn it back around again, out away, but this time stays away from the shortstop. Okay, our center field look. The slider right on the outside corner. That's a good pitcher's pitch. A good job by Andrew McCutchen to serve it into left field.
So the tying run moves into scoring position on the base hit by McCutchen. Wilson back off his lead at second base, and Freddie Sanchez 0 for 2.
They want to be away from him also.
And sometimes that's okay for Freddie because he's a guy that likes that outside pitch. He loves to take it to right field.
Freddie has no problem with a pitch on the outside corner and sometimes beyond the outside corner.
And that one just barely on the outside corner. 1-1.
That's a pitcher's pitch. That's tough to deal with there. Fastball down and away.
Freddie this year is 22 for 66 with runners in scoring position. That's an average of 333.
Away again. See, he's not featured too much inside, so you wonder as he goes along, is he going to be able to work inside enough to keep hitters honest so they won't go out there and dive to the outside corner. There's Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach.
2-1 pitch. That's to left of the base hit. Wilson's going to get waved around. Ford comes up firing. The throw to the plate and plenty of time to get him. Jack Wilson gunned down at the plate. As Giovanni Soto able to hold on to the throw from Sam Fuld. And even able to score, but the rookie Sam Fuld came up gunning and threw him out at the plate on the base hit by Freddie Sanchez.
We'll give him credit. He threw an absolute bullet right on the money to Soto and had plenty of time. Soto had plenty of time to set up for the tag.
And Milton Bradley, a little looper, and Jack Wilson takes care of it. One pitch and one out in the sixth. But we go back to the play that ended the Pirates' fifth. And Sanchez got what they wanted, but it was a rope to shallow left. And look at the throw by Fuld. I mean, he put his whole body into it. His body was parallel to the ground when he let go of the baseball.
And they've got Jack by about 3 steps there. And it's one of those things that looks bad, but when you make a perfect throw, a runner can look bad. You know, you can say what you want about the decision, but first of all, in the big picture, how many guys are thrown out at home plate? And secondly, you've got a tight ball game where you're not doing much offensively. So it might have gone into the decision by Tony Beasley. And Tony will tell you right to your face, as third base coach, and he speaks for every third base coach. There are times when he's not going to make the right decision. So it's going to flat out happen. But if that throw is up either line, then you get the cheap run.
And Soto did a good job hanging on, blocking the plate.
Yep.
There was nowhere for Jack to go.
Yeah, there's like a fence post there.
Yeah, he knew it too. 2-1 to Jake Fox. And he goes to center, and on the run, McCutchen going back. McCutchen's got it! Right over the shoulder catch by Andrew McCutchen.
Jake Fox got a lot of that ball, but he hit it to the wrong part of the ballpark, and he had the wrong guy on his side chasing it. And that was the right guy for us. Andrew McCutchen runs it down. That's a fun catch to make.
He likes that.
Sure.
Well, he told me on the road trip that there was nothing that was going to get over his head unless it was out of the ballpark. He said that he's going back and he's going to get it. He approaches every pitch when he gets into his defensive stance. The pitcher gets into the wide. He is ready to go get a ball behind him every time.
Well,
that's a strike. Now Fukudome thought he called time, but again, this is one of the old things in baseball. The umpire doesn't have to give it to you.
And shouldn't give you a lot of times when he does. There are guys that call time at the last possible second and they're granted time. That's wrong.
It was too late. And Marty Foster said, nope, that's a strike. I give Virgil Vasquez credit for continuing with the windup, because some pitchers might stop it thinking there is time automatically, but pitchers have to know they've got to continue and throw it. But wouldn't that be the natural reaction as a pitcher, to kind of stop what you're doing?
Shut it down, yeah.
Two outs, nobody on. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kosuke Fukudome. He wants time, and he gets it this time. Maybe he didn't say please the first time. The 2-2. Since missed 3-2. That's a hard one to lay off if you're Fukudome. 2 strikes right near the plate. And Vasquez ready. And now the payoff pitch. This one deep to right center. This one's going back, and this one is gone. Kosuke Fukudome has just hit his 6th home run. It is 3-1. A 3-2 pitch ends up into the right center field bleachers. And the 2nd home run given up by Virgil Vasquez.
Kind of a bizarre at bat for Fukudome. Virgil knows it's got a chance.
Two outs for Giovanni Soto. Soto 0 for 2. Hit the ball on the ground twice. Once a fielder's choice. Forcing Milton Bradley at the plate. Ramon Vasquez threw him out.
Threes have been wild in this series so far. What, 3-1 and 3-0, and now again tonight 3-1 lead for the Cubbies.
ball, 2 strikes. Vasquez got ahead of him 0-2. Now 1 ball, 2 strike count. Even at 2-2. Vasquez trying to get the Pirate hitters to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. And this one to left, and Garrett Jones has a long run. Jones dives. He's not going to get it. Soto's going to run a while. Jones picks the ball up, and he'll gun it to third. The relay not in time, on a triple.
Well, risk reward when you take a dive after that ball that was hooking away from you. It's spectacular if you get the glove on it. If you don't, you got to get up off the deck and chase it down. And Soto hooked this ball. Garrett Jones took the shot. And the chase is on.
So now they will walk Andres Blanco to get to Randy Wells and put a forced play on here. And we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubs with a 3-1 lead. 3 runs on 7 hits. 1 run on 6 hits for the Pirates. They had 3 hits rather in the 5th, and came up empty without a run. Blanco 0 for 2. It's now a 3-0 count. He'll take the 4th wide one here in a moment. Kosuke Fukudome with a big blow of the inning. Home run to right center field, almost in the same spot. He hit one at Wrigley Field on the 26th of May. This is a 3-2 pitch. He just crushes it. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, out to talk to Virgil Vasquez and Jason Jaramillo. Well, with 2 outs, a run has scored on the home run. Then Soto's triple. Jeff Karsten's back up and loosening for the Pirates.
And nothing terribly wrong with Vasquez to this point. He's given up 3 runs. He's working in the 6th inning. Karsten's ready, but well, you don't want to get it too far down the road more than it is now, because you've got a young man on the other side, this Randy Wells, who's pitching himself a dandy ball game.
For the Pirates, it'll be 3, 4, and 5. Jones, LaRoche, and Moss due up against Wells in the bottom of the 6th inning. And with 2 outs and a man aboard, Blanco the intentional walk, 2 men on. And now Wells down to third, and a foul ball.
Wow.
Just foul.
Hung the breaking ball.
Mike Quade, the third base coach, doesn't agree, and he is giving it to the umpire Wally Bell right now.
And if you heard the crowd, Mike, you could hear Mr. Bell respond.
Wow. Very close. Yeah, and watch the third base coach, Mike Quade. You saw him briefly. Wally Bell in the best position to see it. Goes as strike 1. And that goes as strike 2.
Okay,
pretty hard hit, strike 2.
Yeah, a couple of breaking balls. Now you either go even softer or you just bust them upstairs. You've got to get this out. You've got to keep it at 3-1 right here. You've got the ideal opportunity to do that. And here's where you got to finish them off. But make sure you got a Jaramillo alert back there in case you want to go downstairs and get him to chase.
Right back off the
Take your time.
glove of Vasquez. He'll fire, and he's got it.
Oh boy.
And Wells is upset.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And here comes Lou Piniella. Wow. And Lou is hot. And he is gone. Lou Piniella has just been run from the ball game as Mount Lou has erupted. Lou Piniella will have to take the slow walk out. He's done 3-1 after 5.5.
Oh, I think the Cubbies got an argument.
And Lou Piniella,
like he was shot out of a cannon coming out of the dugout.
I mean, they just flipped the on switch. I mean, it's like a microwave, you know.
Calm exterior, but there's been some inside anxiety going on.
For a while now, though, Steve, he's been the calmest member of the Cubs.
Yeah.
Now Alan Trammell, bench coach, takes over. Great infielder he was with the Detroit Tigers. He and Lou Whitaker were one of the best double play combinations in baseball for a long time. 1-1. And there's a strike to Garrett Jones. Jones looking for a hit. He is 0 for 2. Grounded out to second in the first, and in the third, he grounded out to third. 2-2. And Joel Hanrahan put to work right away. He starts to loosen up. Just came over from the Washington Nationals in the Niger Morgan Sean Burnett trade. 2-2 pitch. This one fouled away. Garrett Jones showed some good pop down in Bradenton in the spring, playing with a big league club. And he's shown some pop in Indy this year, too, being able to hit the ball a long way. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Randy Wells has had this 2-run lead for a while now. Time for the Bucks to get at him. And this one down the first baseline, Derek Lee. The toss to Wells, and there's one down.
Well, it's the Coors Light 6th inning. Time for the Coors Light freeze cam involving Derek Lee. First at bat, out over the plate, he extended the arms. He was able to get the extension and got the home run. Second at bat, fastball up and in, just completely saws him off. Nice work, nice camera work. And that's the Coors Light freeze cam.
Derek Lee first came up with the San Diego Padres and was dealt to the Florida Marlins. Spent a number of years with Florida before coming over to the Cubs. And his opposite number at first, Adam LaRoche, 0 for 1. He has walked tonight. LaRoche has hit 2 home runs on this homestand so far. Adam in back-to-back games. Been a long homestand. Cleveland Indians, Kansas City Royals, now the Cubs. Tomorrow the Mets. A single game. 12:35 business person special, radio only tomorrow. And then off on the road to Florida, Houston, and Philadelphia in the All-Star break. That one right out in front of home plate. And they're calling it a foul ball, a fair ball. And Marty Foster says that LaRoche is out. John Russell was up on the top step of the dugout. And that is an unusual play here.
The ball stays right there. And there, the pitcher's hiding it. Wow. Thinking that Adam thought it might have just trickled on and across the foul line, but.
Well, that is frustrating for any hitter to be put out that way.
Yeah, especially when the ball is so close to everybody. Everybody's got an eyeball on it.
No balls, 1 strike to Brandon Moss.
Watch out.
Off the front railing of the Pirates dugout.
Of course, with the ball that close, I guess Adam can't argue too much. I mean, if he sees the ball, he's frustrated. Yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, but if he sees that the ball has not crossed the foul line, it's an out. If you see that ball is foul, it's a tirade. And the tirade wasn't thrown. Strikeout is recorded, and the 6th inning is done.
Quick inning for the Bucks as Soto tags out LaRoche. By A&L Motors, Derek Lee a 2-run home run in the 1st inning. Andrew McCutchen a double and scored a run. He's also got a base hit. Brandon Moss had the RBI driving in McCutchen. Kosuke Fukudome a solo home run in the 6th inning, and that has accounted for the scoring, 3-1. And Derek Lee's home run in the 1st inning with Sam Fuld aboard after a leadoff double. That goes up there. And Kosuke Fukudome's home run, almost the same spot. Fuld throwing out what would have been the tying run at that point when the Cubs led 2-1. And Fukudome's home run would come after that to make it a 3-1 game. Joel Hanrahan, his first appearance with the Pirates since coming over from the Washington Nationals. 6'4" and 245 from Frisco, Texas. And Hanrahan will face the top of the order, Sam Fuld. Hanrahan was on Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, served as the closer there. John Grabo, who was also in the bullpen for Team USA, had a pretty good scouting report on Hanrahan. 1-0 is in there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
33 innings for the Nationals this year with 35 strikeouts. Last year, 84 innings, 93 strikeouts. Power guy.
Here's the 1-1. This one is a ripped foul as Fuld got way in front of that one. 115 games, 11-9, 14 saves, had 5 with the Nationals. A 1-2 count to Sam Fuld. 2-2. Well, he earned his first 2 saves with the Nationals this year in back-to-back outings in April 20th and 21st against the Atlanta Braves. They got slow going after that. This one ripped to right field, a base hit. Leadoff single, second hit of the game for the Cubs left fielder. The 2009 Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. Ryan Theriot at the plate, throw to first by Hanrahan. Well, how tough is it for Hanrahan, Steve, to get here today, this afternoon, and then get your new uniform and walk in, and next thing you know, you're on the hill?
Well, you want to get the first one out of the way, so not all that bad. Get it done. Get the first outing as a new Pirate. Hectic, but you don't want to wait around. You want to get out there, see what you can do with your new team. Get on the other side of that first outing.
Fuld the lead from first. Hanrahan stretch. Look at Fuld. Fuld, guy who runs well. He's defended well and hit well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about running, but he's got a very, very conservative lead.
He's got the attention of Joel Hanrahan.
Well, if he steals a base here, the way he's leading off first base, he's going to have to steal with flat speed, not the big lead.
0-1 on the ground as Sanchez goes to Wilson for 1, back to first, double play.
Smooth as silk. 4-6-3. Smooth.
Shake and bake, getting it done. Look at this from the Southwest field cam. The backhand flip by Sanchez, put it right where it had to be.
That's the most comfortable double play because you got your guy that's throwing to first coming toward first as opposed to a second baseman going away from first.
Second double play for the Pirates in the ball game. 88 of them on the year. Derek Lee swings and misses. Strike 2.
Well, as hard as Hanrahan throws, if he can mix in that breaking ball effectively, throw it for strikes with the change in speeds, change of direction, he's going to have success because the fastball is a dominant fastball. But you can't do it, as they say, bare naked with just the fastball.
Nothing in 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hanrahan spent his first full season in the major leagues last year with Washington. Pitched exclusively in relief for the first time in his career. 1-2. Foul tip. Strike 3. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Mr. Hanrahan. Joe Hanrahan. A nice outing and a nice Pirate debut. Our score through 6.5 innings. The Cubs 3, Pirates 1. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by our friends at Levin Furniture. Well, Sweet Lou not so sweet tonight. He was ejected in the top of the 6th inning, arguing a 3rd out call at first base.
Getting a little late here, fellas. Pirates need some offense. Mr. Wells doing very well after the first inning run that the Pirates scored. He's put up 5 zeros, and he is a big, strong young man. He's gone 7 innings 4 different times in his first 9 starts.
0-2 to Ramon Vasquez. He's got a pretty good average from the 7th inning on, hitting .310 this season. And Wells deals. 1-2. Vasquez struck out. I beg your pardon. He did. He struck out and he lined out to left field.
Both bullpens busy.
And this one is a little looper over to second baseman Andres Blanco. And there is 1 out. Well, with world-class views and amenities, the luxury suites at PNC Park are second to none, with packages from single games to partial seasons. And you can be sure that clients, friends, and family will be treated to a first-rate event. Visit pirates.com/suite or call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS to check availability for your game today. Those suites are outstanding. Good stuff. You ought to enjoy one.
No better way to watch a ball game.
Well, treat yourself one of these days. 1-0 to Jaramillo. 1-1. Jaramillo's 2 for 2. Pair of leadoff singles. Once in the 2nd, once in the 5th.
Last second decision to take a swipe at that ball.
Rolled up the right side. Foul. 1-2 to Jason Jaramillo. Last year with the Phillies, was disappointed at the end of the season when the Phillies didn't make him part of the roster when they went on to go to the playoffs and ultimately won the championship. Winning the World Series over Tampa Bay. And he was traded for Ronnie Paulino. And Paulino was sent to Florida. And Jaramillo has been a nice addition for the Pirates. He swings and strikes out. And there are 2 away. Tonight's leader stat update on our Fox Box is brought to you by Bridgestone Firestone. National League team batting in June. The Marlins, the month of June, #1. The Pirates, #2, 277. The hottest team in the world, the Rockies, at 276. So the Pirates as a team had a better average than the Colorado Rockies did. They won 21 games in June. And we'll head down to Florida after the game tomorrow. Take a look at the schedule. 3 with the Marlins, then 3 in the nice great indoors of Houston. Day off, and then 3 with the Phillies, and then the All-Star break. 0-2 pitch, and Wilson hits this one foul up the right side.
Mr. Wells living comfortably on the outside part of the plate. Has not allowed a Pirate run since the first inning. He's won his last 2, giving up 2 runs in each of them. He came in with that ERA of 2.57.
Saw Delwyn Young on deck. 0-2 pitch, and Wilson lines this one into right center field. Fukudome coming on. He dives and takes one away from Jack Wilson. Gotta tip your cap. Kosuke Fukudome, a fine defensive play. Wilson is out, and the Pirates are now done in the 7th. Friends in Aspen Dental, Ramon Vasquez throwing up Milton Bradley at the plate. That's one. How about this one? A long way for Andrew McCutchen to run. Take one away from Jake Fox in center field. That's our plays that made you smile from Aspen Dental. It's Steve Blass, Tim Everett at PNC Park. Jesse Chavez is on to start the top of the 8th inning.
He gave up a walk-off home run to Todd Helton late in June 20th, but he's been just fine since then. And he follows Joel Hanrahan, who made a nice debut as a Pirate, one scoreless inning, giving up a hit, recording a strikeout.
And Joel Hanrahan, the latest acquisition, just an inning pitch, gave up a hit, was a benefactor of a double play, struck out one. That was Derek Lee. And there is a foul ball off the bat of Bradley. And for Hanrahan, that ends a streak of 3 straight games where he was scored upon coming out of the bullpen.
Did I see the last outing he had against Baltimore, a third of an inning, 4 earned runs?
Yeah, last 3 games, 8 runs scored total off of him. So
maybe a change of scenery.
Sometimes that works.
Especially if you start pitching better.
Yeah. See, when you start pitching better, then you start looking for something to, credit it to.
Yeah.
Just a change of scenery.
It's going to change of scenery.
1-1. Bradley swings. Hey, some news today from baseball, Steve. I want to get your opinion on it. The powers that be in Major League Baseball announced that the All-Star Game rosters are going to be expanded to 33 players. So a 13th pitcher will be added for each team. So an extra roster spot on each side.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Long time coming. A lot of people have talked about that. And it does nothing to take away from the All-Star Game, have an extra player.
2-2 is rolled foul up the right side. Well, time to catch you up on the news around baseball in case you missed it from our friends at Chevrolet. Joe Mauer 3 for 3 against the Royals. He's at 392. He's challenging that 400 mark. Red Sox score 4 in the top of the 9th. Beat the Orioles 6-5. All-Star roster, just talked about that. Dana DeMuth will be the home plate umpire and crew chief for the All-Star game.
Yep. Countdown has begun. Very close.
Pirates bullpen coach Louis Durante is going to the All-Star game. He will be the home run derby pitcher for Albert Pujols. 3-2.
Watch out.
Base side of pinballs around over there.
Well, I've got a favorite All-Star story. I went to one in 1972, and it's a great treat. The first time as a player you walk into a clubhouse that has the National League or American League All-Stars. You look at the array of talent that's around, well followed well down the right field line. And I walked in, and Johnny Bench, one of the all-time great catchers, came over and said, "I understand you're pitching the 3rd inning." I said, "Yeah." He said, "What signs you want to use?" And I said, "Well, Johnny, every time I pitch against you, you seem to know what's coming, so why don't you just wing it?"
You tell me.
Seem to know what's coming.
3-2 to Bradley. Inside ball 4. Milton flips the bat at the plate and walks down to first base. Well, what did you throw when you get up there?
Whatever I wanted to, and I left it up to him to make sure he was able to catch. Although I had 1 inning, and he didn't catch too many, actually. I gave up a run on about 3 hits, and somebody blistered a ball, I think, to Lee May at first base, and caught it, stepped on first, and I said, "That's fine. Get me out of Dodge City here."
Where was that game in
Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Yep. And so appropriate. Henry Aaron hit a home run for the National League in '72 at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
2 years later, on the 8th of April, 1974, he would break Babe Ruth's record of 714, hit number 715 into the left field bullpen at Fulton County.
Oh, Val Downey.
You know who was in left field for the Dodgers that day?
74.
It's all traced back to that curse of the Bambino thing.
Somebody from the Red Sox?
Bill Buckner.
Who's in left field?
Yes, he was.
Just stuff followed him.
Yep. Buckner was there. Tom House caught it in the bullpen. That's well known. Yeah, you watch it. You watch the replay of that. You'll see the guy. You'll see Buxton left. Yeah, this turned into a nice night. The tarp was on the field prior to the game. Batting practice was canceled.
Yeah.
Rained pretty hard for a little while. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jake Fox. Down the right field line, and this one will hook.
Henry Aaron, to me, one of the greatest baseball players that had the pleasure to compete against. Henry Aaron is a representative of the game of Major League Baseball.
Two and two, the count to Fox. Nobody out. Brantley, the leadoff man, walks. He's off for first, and the pitch. And this one sharply hit to Wilson. Backhands, goes to Sanchez. He can't make the play. Wilson had a bad exchange with Sanchez at second late in the ball game last night on a similar play where he had to go hard to his backhand.
I don't think it was Jack's fault last night. Let's take a look at this play on the backhand. Not a good throw by Jack there on the first base side. That's a tough situation because the second baseman has got to be aware of the fact that the runner is bearing down with him, and the throw on that side is a real problem. He's tried to hold on, get the out.
Jake Fox will be credited with a base hit. And Joe Kerrigan wants to make sure he nips this in the bud. Still a forced play on the infield.
Yeah, many a time in that kind of situation, if it's an errant throw down and away or wherever it might be, you almost try to become a first baseman. Just make sure you can try to get that lead run and not even think about a double play. That lead runner.
Well, we were talking about Henry Aaron's home run earlier. Talking about Atlanta, April 8, 1974.
It's Henry.
Now watch who goes up on the fence.
That's Buckner.
That's the left-hander, the former Cub, former Red Sox.
The ball went over the fence, and so did Bill almost.
Yeah. On the wall.
That's the famous shot of the fan chasing Henry between second and third.
That was the place where he played in the All-Star game. Fukudome to right. Moss will make the catch. Bradley will tag and head for third. 1 down. And the forced play kept in order in the middle with 1 out. Giovanni Soto, a triple. First triple of the season. Hit it in the 6th inning. You don't see a lot of catchers hitting triples. But he had one as he went to left field. Garrett Jones dove for it. It got past Jones. And into third.
Here comes John.
And Russell's going to make the change. And Steven Jackson is going to come on. Our Columbia Gas 8-1-1 call to the pen has been made. Cubs with a 3-1 lead.
Having their reunion out there. This is fabulous.
This is good. When are we going to eat this?
When are we going to eat this?
Well, I don't know. You got your plate. I got mine. Mine's bigger. Look at that.
Greg Brown has a family reunion. They are in town out at Pike Run. It's a recreational area out in the Somerset area, and they are here at the ball game tonight, and they bought all kind of goodies. This is a wonderful presentation. So we thank the Brown family. We don't necessarily thank Greg for anything, but it's nice of the Brown family to think of us.
Well, some very nice fresh fruit, and we can wash it down with chocolate cake.
Wonderful.
That's good. Steven Jackson comes on. Pirates picked him up from the Yankees. Facing Giovanni Soto. 1 out. First and third. As Jesse Chavez just goes a third of an inning. He's still in the game, however, as the book is open on him. Jackson comes out, inherits 2 runners. And trying to get Soto here.
Where's that ground ball? Fastball picking up the outside corner downstairs.
Soto 1 for 3.
Pirates turned a double play last inning. Need another one. It would be their third of the night if they can do it.
And there's one to Wilson over his head. And that'll get a run in. Milton Bradley's going to score. That's charged to Chavez. That's the leadoff walk coming around to score. And it's 4-1 Chicago. Second hit for Soto, and his first run batted in. 25th RBI of the year for Soto.
And it feels like about 8 runs the way that Randy Wells is working. He's worked 7 innings. He has faced the minimum number of batters in 5 of those 7 innings. One of which was with the help of a double play. Doesn't matter. Faced 3 batters.
Bradley walks and scores. And now Andres Blanco, the second baseman, facing Jackson. And that one goes to the backstop, and forget the forced play. That's over with as both men move up.
This is becoming a very unpleasant top of the 8th inning. Armio trying to get over to get the body out in front of the ball, but it skips off the glove up over the shoulder, and the Cubs move up.
So Fox down to third and Soto over to second base. Infield is in.
Get a pitch like that, you try to be quick to the side and big. As much of your body in front as you can.
And Blanco, I'm surprised he swung at that pitch, Steve, to be honest with you. I mean, he just had a pitch in the dirt. Gets another one way down and in, and he chases it.
He's not sure either. I think he agrees with you.
Like a Hoffbauer on deck, he'll hit in the 9 spot for the pitcher Wells. So Wells is done.
Well, that's not all bad to get him out of the game. He's been terrific.
Still just 1 out. One ball, 2 strikes. Carlos Marmol warming up. He's looking to make his second appearance in this series. Alan Trammell, the acting manager right now. Lou Piniella run from the ball game in the 6th inning. Ejected by Chad Fairchild, first base umpire, and it was a quick ejection too. 1-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, says Wally Bell down at third. And a strikeout for Jackson.
Hope it becomes significant.
So here is Hoffbauer. 250 average, 7 home runs, 22 runs batted in. He's without a hit this series.
Well, the minute that Lou threw the hat down on the dirt, it seemed, I don't know if that was accompanied by some verbiage or that's all it took, but you're right, it was quick.
Stretched by Jackson on the pitch. Strike call.
So the young right-hander for the Cubs lights out tonight. 7 innings, 1 run on 6 hits. He walked a batter and struck out 4. So his good work continues. His excellent control continues. And the Cubs have to be happy with what they have in young Mr. Randy Wells.
And Hoffpauir behind in the count. 0-2. So Hoffpauir. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And Wells, the 26-year-old from Lebanon, Illinois, pitching for his home state Cubs tonight. Does a fine job. Now
He's lowered his ERA again from 2.57, which is not all that easy to do, but he did it tonight with the 1 run in 7 innings.
When he's in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Pirates now have 6 outs to try to get 3 runs if Hoffpauir makes an out here. Hoffpauir, a Texan from Fort Worth originally, lives in Jacksonville.
Yeah, and if you want a shot, you better leave these runners at second and third. Base hit here would be deadly.
Here's the 1-2 from Steven Jackson. It'll stay 1-2. Fox at third base is still the property of Jesse Chavez. And nobody wants Jackson to get out of this inning more than Jesse Chavez and Joe Kerrigan. They want Jackson to find a way to get Hoffpauir, the pinch hitter, out. And Hoffpauir, 6 out of 23 as a pinch hitter. He does have a pinch hit home run. He's driven in 6 in this role. Count stays 1-2. He filled in for Derek Lee at first base for the Cubs back in late May. Lee only played in 1 of those 3 games against the Pirates, who, along with Bobby Scales, had come up with some kind of virus. They were sick. In fact, Lee was sent home from 1 of those games, and Scales the next day was sent home. One, 2. 2-2. That young man's had himself a good game there. Sam Fuld making a start tonight for the Cubs.
Cubs want to get this man back at third base, Aramis Ramirez.
And he strikes out. Hoffpauir goes down on strikes. Cubs strand 2, but they pick up another. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-1 Cubs. Favor of the Cubs in game 3 of this 3-game set. Steve Blass, Tim Neverett, And there is Mike Fontenot, who was inserted as part of a double switch at third base. Carlos Marmol will enter and bat in the 5th spot. Make that the 6th spot for 5th spot. It was right the first time for Jake Fox. So Marmol.
39 strikeouts in 36 innings for Carlos. So the Pirates will be seeing a little more heat than they saw from Wells, but I don't know if they'll see any better pitching. Wells, 7 innings, 1 run on 6 hits, as we mentioned, and walked 4 strikeouts. We also mentioned he faced 3 batters, just 3 batters, in 5 out of his 7 innings.
Well, you talk about comebacks, and last night in Baltimore, the Orioles had the largest comeback since that team's been in Baltimore. They were down 10-1, 9-1 at least, and I believe it was 10-1 at one point to Boston. Ended up coming back and winning that game.
But didn't the Red Sox return the favor today, getting 4 in the 9th?
Yeah, they did. So teams can come back, and the Pirates trying to do the same here.
Well, make sure you get strikes from Marmol with the impressive strikeout numbers, but also just about a walk per inning.
Pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Milwaukee has lost today. They lost earlier in the day to the New York Mets 1-0.
David Pelfrey?
Yeah, it was
doing most of the job.
It was a duel, no doubt about it. Also in the Central, in the 7th inning, Cincinnati leads Arizona 1-0. St. Louis in the 9th, leading San Francisco 1-0. That pitch hits Delwyn Young. So Delwyn Young is aboard. Carlos Marmol hits Young, and the Bucks have the leadoff man aboard in the 8th.
Any way to get base runners.
Yeah. And that turns the order over again. And Andrew McCutchen, who's had a multi-hit game, 2 for 3, a double and a single. He scored a run, facing Carlos Marmol. Nice ball outside, ball 1.
It wasn't too long ago that Marmol was regarded as one of the best setup guys around.
2-0. Soto tried to frame that one back in the picture, and home plate umpire Marty Foster wasn't buying it. Marmol set. There's a pretty good breaking ball in there for a strike.
He's got a very live arm. The closer role didn't suit him, but for a while he was really impressive. I don't know about the rest of the National League, but he was throwing a lot of blanks at the Pirates when he first got to Chicago.
Strike 2. I like seeing McCutchen take off in the first inning when he had the double. And he steps on the gas, puts it into 5th gear, and goes. Those extra base hits that he can provide are exciting to watch. And he goes to right field this time. And there's 1 out. Follow the Pirates on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Pirates.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. You got an iPod?
No.
iPhone?
No.
iPod Touch?
No. I got some cassettes and some of those round disc things.
You know they've.
Yeah, Pete, I do have 8 tracks.
You got 8
from
tracks?
the truck. Yeah, from the truck.
I was going to say they do have touch-tone dialing now.
Yep.
Sanchez takes high, 1-1.
8 tracks.
One ball, 1 strike in the pitch. Ooh, shot fouled off over the Cubs dugout.
Well, the thing is, I can still order all that stuff on late night TV when I'm doing the post-game review.
I'm sure. those numbers are toll free. Have to call the operator to connect you still. Sanchez strikes out. He chased a bad one.
Oh, kind of whirly bird frisbee breaking ball thrown by Marmol. Comes from the side. Throws it way outside. Not even Freddie can reach that. And Freddie can reach most anything.
Big break on. Garrett Jones will take ball one from Carlos Marmol.
For his first Pirate hit.
Jones going to take over that role that Eric Hinsky had. Left-handed bat off the bench. He could start on either corner, outfield position, and also play first base. The only thing that was different about Hinsky's game is he could also play third base. Hinsky now off with the New York Yankees. And Jones getting his big league opportunity now. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike, 1-2.
77 at bats for Garrett Jones in 2007. 16 hits. He hit a couple of home runs for the Twins.
And Marmol sets him down on strikes. We're headed to the ninth inning. It's a 3-run Chicago lead. Of the Cub order.
The vitals as he becomes the 5th Pirate pitcher of the evening. Vasquez, Hanrahan, Chavez. Steven Jackson 2/3 of an inning, giving up a hit but striking out a pair. And the makeup game tomorrow afternoon at 12:35. Tim Redding for the Mets, 1-3 with an ERA over 6 against Paul Mulholland, 5-4. An ERA of about 4.5 or less, a little bit less.
Short turnaround tomorrow. That's a radio only game tomorrow. But makeup game from a rain out. Mets were supposed to play 4. Pirates won 3 of those games when they were here last. But a single game with the Mets, and an interesting scheduling quirk when you look at it. It'll be the only time you think this year where the Pirates will play 3 different opponents on 3 different days. Tonight Chicago, tomorrow New York, and Friday Florida.
Kinky.
Sam Fuld, 0-1 pitch. He takes a strike, 0-2. He has reached base 3 times out of 4 trips, 2 hits and a walk, scored a run. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't forget to set your alarm tomorrow morning. Make sure you get up on time.
Short night.
Need a wake-up call or anything?
No, I'll be fine. My age, I'll be up 2 or 3 times before I need to.
Former Bucco Mike Quade, third base coach, making the play down there. Yeah, second time you get up, you may as well just stay up the rest of the way.
That's right.
I'm sure there's one of those home shopping channels on at that time.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. All kind of opportunities. Although we mourn the death of Billy Mays.
Yeah.
Keys Rocks native. Shocking. Shocking news.
Full fouls this one up the right side. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Evan Meek's job here is to get 3 quick outs or 3 outs without allowing a run, and then the Pirates will leave it up to Adam LaRoche, Brandon Moss, and Ramon Vasquez. They will bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. This is game number 78, 84 to go after tonight. Getting close to that halfway mark. Struck him out. If you miss a big play from this game, we've got the perfect solution for you. Catch Pirates Instant Replay. It's all the runs, hits, and action from this game in just 2 hours. Pirates Instant Replay tonight at 11, right here on FSN. Bringing the game to you twice. Tune in again and watch the rant by Lou Piniella. That was a pretty good one.
Efficient, you know.
Got it done. Went out there, got it done.
Quickly shot out of the dugout, a couple words and gone. I believe that's Kevin Gregg loosening up out in the Cubbies bullpen. Their closer man, he has 13.
Gregg, the right-hander, and the 1-1. That is in their first strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Theriot. Terrio's had a pair of hits, a sacrifice, and he hit into a double play in the 7th inning.
It's been the long ball for the Cubbies. Lee and Fukudome. 2-run shot, solo shot. 3 of the 4 runs accounted for with a couple balls hit over the fence.
Yeah, Derek Lee set the tone early on when the sun was still up.
Yeah, that 2-run spot didn't take long. Double, sacrifice, home run, bang, 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 and 2-zip Chicago.
Lee is 1 for 4, but he's extended his hitting streak to 22 games. Longest active streak in the majors. Meeks 2-2. Line it up and do it again. Fukudome. He likes what he did tonight. It was interesting too because during his at bat he called time and home plate umpire Marty Foster didn't give it to him. He stepped out and Virgil Vasquez fired a strike right down the middle. Worked it to a full count on a 3-2 pitch. Hit it to deep center for a home run. Turned out he didn't need that strike anyway. 3-2 to Ryan Theriot. Theriot and Fontenot now on the same left side of the infield together, both members of a national championship team at LSU. They watched their alma mater do it again this year, beating Texas in the College World Series.
They've done a lot of that sort of thing at LSU, the Tigers.
The LSU's kind of used to it. They expect to be there. One of the elite programs in the nation, and they send a lot of players on to play professionally. 3-2 to Ryan Theriot. Down the right field line, Moss will watch it as it goes into the seats.
Trying to think of LSU Tigers that we had in the Pirates. I think Keith Osick was from LSU, and I think Warren Morris was from LSU. Might have been more, but those two come to mind.
Seen a couple of football games at Baton Rouge, never a baseball game, but seen the baseball field. Lindsey Nelson Field.
Was it brightly colored like a sport coat?
It was plaid, yes, the whole field. Jack Wilson fires it over to first base and gets the out. 2 down.
Let me tell you about the first time I saw that blue field, that blue football field.
Boise State. It's the same color as Derek Lee's jersey, exactly that color.
Yeah. And you talk about having some issues with your TV set. The first time I saw that.
How many people in America bang the side of their TV the first time they see that? The Smurf turf, as they call it. Funny thing about it was when they first put it down, before they put lines on it, the old AstroTurf, the birds thought it was a pond. Birds flying overhead. People showed up one morning to work. There were a lot of birds laying on the turf who had an accidental landing. A little harder landing than they expected.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch. That's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1. And the pitch. 2-1. Yeah, we're into July, which means people start thinking about college football, pro football. Those guys will be putting on the helmets in a couple of weeks. Kid might need a helmet around that character.
The bird keeping it going in the stands.
I think he leads the league in TV appearances right now. National TV. 2-2 now to Derek Lee. See him on the highlights all the time. He was on again last night.
Hardest working bird in show business.
Let him go. Think he knows what count it is?
No, well, every bird tries to get out of his cage.
Look at that.
You can make it.
All right, one more try.
Jonathan Winters. I can fly.
3-2 the count to Derek Lee. And he strikes out. Good job by Evan Meek. Gets the side in order and strikes out 2. Adam LaRoche will lead off the bottom of the 9th. Last wraps for the Pirates. Register your team now for the 7th annual Kickball for Hope, Saturday, August 1st at Mellon Park. This annual adult co-ed kickball tournament raises money for Girls Hope and Pump. For more information or to sign your team up to play, visit pump.org. Well, he taught Denny Terrio to dance. He can teach you too. It's the Pirate Parrot. Here's Adam LaRoche, bottom of the 9th. 3-run difference right now. 4-1 in favor of the Cubs. Here's Kevin Gregg. try to shut it down, and Adam LaRoche trying to keep the book open.
Well, you've got to think of it in the big picture. There have been several innings where the Pirates have scored at least 3 runs. Well, sure, no law against it. Kevin Gregg, he's kind of got that Eric Gagne look a little bit. Big body upstairs, but got the goggles. Big man.
Eric Gagne, incidentally, is pitching for a team in Quebec, in independent baseball.
He's Canadian native, isn't he?
He's from Quebec. 1-1. LaRoche swings and he hits it pretty well. Left center field. Racing back on it, Sam Fuld, and right in front of the north side notch. He'll make the catch to retire Adam LaRoche. Deep part of the ballpark. Brandon Moss, who is 1 for 3 and an RBI single in the first inning, he's driven in the Pirates' only run tonight. Kevin Gregg appeared in game 1 of this series on Monday night. And picked up his 13th save. Strike one rather. 1 ball, 1 strike. Randy Wells, 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts. Battle of rookie starters tonight. Virgil Vasquez.
Yeah, Virgil wasn't all that bad. Made a couple pitches that cost him the 2-run home run and the solo shot. Those 6 innings, they call that a quality start. 7 hits, 3 runs. Didn't let the ball game get away. Left. Pirates are down 3-1.
2 balls, 2 strikes. You know, we told you about Lou Piniella in case you joined us late. If you didn't, and you're here at the top of the 6th and you saw Lou get ejected, you look at Lou Piniella. I mean, you think that
not vintage Lou, though.
No, but you think he gets ejected all the time. Do you realize it's been almost a year? The last time he was ejected from a ball game, July 26th last season.
He's mellowed.
Alan Trammell, the acting manager right now. But yeah, that's you know, you don't expect that. I mean, he's got his fiery reputation. He's managed in so many games. He's won a lot of games. He's a great player. Great player with the Yankees. And Moss swings, and this one is up in the air, left center. Shallow left field. There's Sam Fuld with his 2nd put out this inning.
I think Lou Piniella was Rookie of the Year in the American League. Yes. Back in the late 60s somewhere.
He was.
Comes out. Pretty good pace there. The hat's down, and it's over.
Oh.
Well, if you stay around long, you're bound to get more efficient.
Yeah, Chad Fairchild pushed the ejector button pretty early. So the Bucs down to their final out. And Vasquez takes strike 1. Pirates would win last night 3-0 behind Ross Ollendorf's best performance of the season. You could argue that he had a career high in strikeouts with 8. And tonight, just unable to get the offense going against rookie Randy Wells. And he lifts this one to shallow left, and it's been all Sam Fuld. 3 of a kind, 3 sevens, and that does the ball game. And the Cubs take 2 of 3. Kosuke Fukudome hitting a home run in the 6th inning to add